Good morning. It's Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Astrology.com. It is 11:25 a.m. on Wednesday, August the 12th, 2026. And I wanted to give the rest of the aspects for this coming week, which I'm going to start with for tomorrow because I've already done one video up until the 12th. I wanted to cover that eclipse that we're having today. And so I've already done that. And now we're going to start on August the 13th. The moon will be in Virgo that day at 6:18 a.m. is when it goes into Virgo. So things about your daily routines, small pets, work on a small scale, not your career, but the things that you do daily to work, and health will be all into focus, or you'll be more emotional about that. And then for aspects, collective aspects, which means they're there for the whole collective, not what you would have in your chart along with these, but just these for the collective. We have the moon sextile Mars, which creates nervousness and excitement, the good kind of excitement usually. And then we have Mercury sextile Venus, which is a time of emotional happiness and calm. And then we have the moon quincunx Pluto, which creates emotional upheavals that threaten your inner security. So something could happen that makes you feel insecure, and then your emotion starts to go. And then we have the moon quincunx Neptune. So you have to discriminate whether you're really apathetic or you're relaxing. And then that's not too terrible of a, aspect. And then we have the moon square Uranus. This one can get weird sometimes because it causes people to be erratic or eccentric in their behavior, but also they're very quick-minded and are able to come up with solutions if it's a situation where you can't figure out what to do. That insight comes very quickly. And for Friday, August the 14th, 2026, the moon is still in Virgo, but I wanted to be clear about something. I use a calendar instead of hand calculate because I'd be here for eternity. But I'm noticing that some of the things are off. So it's showing a moon void of course, and there's no way it could be void of course because it just went in. So my calculation is it's still in Virgo because it normally takes 2.5 days for that to happen and then to go into another sign. So then we have the moon quincunx Saturn. So you need to evaluate the repressed emotions that might be coming up. A situation might occur and then you might really feel some old emotions come up. This is the time that you want to evaluate that. Don't steep yourself in it, identify it, and then find out where the root is, and you can get free of that. And actually, somatically, it can change how your body feels. So, enough of that. That's just my massage therapist experience for 20 years talking. And then we have on Saturday, August the 15th, 2026, then the moon goes into Libra at 10:20 a.m. Moon in Libra. Moon and Libras love beauty, music, art. It's a good time to have beauty services done. It's a good time to compose music or do art for a time. It can be harmonious for relationships, or it can make you more emotional about your relationships. And those one-on-one relationships will be very important that day. So as far as collective aspects, we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter. So that's a good time for good news to come in. It's good for study, and you're more tolerant of other people. And then we have Moon trine Mars. That creates emotional and impulsive thinking. You could take one thing that somebody says, and a wound inside of you can all of a sudden become emotional, and then you start acting impulsively. So be careful with this one. And then we have the moon trine Pluto. It's good for romance, pleasure, and popularity at that time. So you can make some plans. But just remember, if you have important decisions to make, we have a moon opposition Neptune, and it is not a good time to make decisions that are important for you. So you need to postpone them. Another aspect that it that describes is don't trust your intuition. But I would never tell a person not to trust their intuition, because your intuition knows. But maybe it's more likely not to trust your feelings and emotional state at the time. And then we have the moon trine Uranus. You're going to be able to influence someone, and it's a time of very original thinking. So then we're going to go over to Sunday, and the moon will still be in Libra, and all those things that I identified is still a good time. And even with moon conjunct Venus, there's a time for ideas on beauty and redecoration. So you can use that Libra energy to do that. The moon sextiles Jupiter, so it's a good time for being cheerful and cooperative with other people. And then the moon sextile in Mercury, it's a time for quick thinking and many ideas. And then it's telling us with the moon opposition Saturn to budget your time and keep doing what you had planned on doing. Stick to your plans and budget your time. And then here comes the weird one. This doesn't happen very often. So it is Mars quincunx Pluto. And with that one, it can create restlessness and unease. And usually the cause is unknown. And the reason why it's unknown is because it's energetic. You're feeling that Martian energy in your body. And one way to tell if you're dealing with Martian energy is this: burning, redness. That is showing where it is in your body. So I have an Aries ascendant. I have red all over me. And that just seems to be because I have that. But if you're going to have rashes, that's another physical indication that there's too much Martian energy going through your body, and or that just churning feeling. So when that comes Sunday, and I think it's later on in the day. Let me look and see if I can find the time that it gives, because you're on different time zones. It's saying at 11:15 p.m. So if that be the case, some of you might be asleep and you might sleep through it, or if you're awake, that will explain that excess energy that you're having in your body. So I'm going to leave that here, and then I'm going to do some tarot card spreads for all the signs, and that way I can show my hands. There's no point in doing both. It'll make it extremely long. But I am Miss Kim with Miss Kim's Tarot and Astrology.com, and I will leave my information under the video if you need to reach out. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.